it's Vu from V and Vigor. I've done a ton of talking about functional training, or specifically training that replicates or mimics your day-to-day movements and makes your lives easier. As a part of that message, I've also talked about the burpee, and why I personally believe that the burpee is the king of all functional exercises. But that's because the burpee itself is so much more than just a function of strength and endurance. In fact, in order to execute the perfect burpee, you also need the combination of stability, flexibility, mobility, coordination, reflexes, and agility. Over the past couple of weeks, I've already talked about stability, flexibility, and mobility. Today, I want to talk about coordination, reflexes, and agility. Do you recall the time when you were bumped by someone, tripped over something, or slipped on ice only to fall hard on the ground? That's a rhetorical question. Of course you have. We all have. Wouldn't it be nice to have the ability to catch and correct yourself to prevent that fall? Let me ask you something. Given the exact same scenario, why is it that some people are always able to stay upright when the same people always end up in pain? Is it luck? Certainly not. The ability or the skill to stay upright in these circumstances has nothing to do with luck. This is a skill that is a function of coordination, reflexes, and agility. So what exactly do these terms mean? Let's start with coordination. Coordination is the ability to use different parts of the body together smoothly and efficiently. Let's take the simple act of walking, for instance. When you walk, not only is one leg moving, the other leg and your core are engaged in stability. For this to happen, and to happen in cohesion, the right muscles have to be activated at the right time and in the right manner. This is coordination, and coordination is the reason why some people move around so efficiently and gracefully, while others walk around so clumsily and awkwardly. What are reflexes? Reflexes are your body's immediate responses to unexpected stimulus. These responses are unconscious and you don't have to think before you move. We're all born with some reflexes, but we adopt more as we grow. They're your internal intuition that tells you to duck when you hear heads up, or to shoot your hand out and grab something when you're tripping and falling. Your reflexes can be measured as how fast you react and move in response to that unexpected stimulus. It can also be thought of as your instinctive movements that protect you from danger. Now, agility is a little bit more complex. Agility is a skill that allows you to move quickly, precisely, and safely. Going back to the earlier examples of being bumped, tripping, or slipping, agility is the skill that you need to stay upright and free from harm in these scenarios. Being agile, or having agility, means both being able to move quickly and precisely, but also having the body space awareness, or proprioception, in order to move safely and in order to avoid injury from the movement itself. Agility is a complex skill which is a function of both coordination and reflexes. And for that reason, and for the purposes of this video, we're going to refer to the three of them cohesively as agility. With all of that said, why exactly is agility important? If you were to ask me, avoiding injury is as good a reason as it gets. The discussion literally ends there for me. Unfortunately, agility is often associated with athletes. Sure, agility is super important to that point guard looking to execute that ankle-breaking crossover, or that running back looking to execute that tackle-evading juke. But that said, the skill should not be exclusive to athletes. It can't be. It's much too important in our day-to-day lives. Let's be honest. Some of us are prone to tripping over our own 2 feet, let alone staying upright when being bumped or slipping on ice. But there's hope. Agility is a skill, meaning that it can be honed, trained, and developed. We spend the majority of our lives in the sagittal plane, moving forward and backward. This occurs when we're walking, we're jogging, or we're running. And unless we play sports or train agility specifically, we never really leave this plane. Being agile means moving quickly, precisely, and safely in all planes, including sagittal, forward and backward, side to side, in rotation, up and down, or a combination of these. I must emphasize again that agility calls for the movements to be quick and precise, but also calls for the movements to be safe. Now, imagine correcting yourself after a slip, only to plant your foot wrong and to break your ankle. You really may as well have fallen in the first place. This requires extreme body space awareness, or proprioception. But it also requires the combination of stability, flexibility, mobility, coordination, and reflexes. For all those reasons, agility is such a complex skill. So does having agility guarantee that you won't get injured? No, certainly not. But that being said, having agility will reduce your susceptibility and odds of getting injured. Alright, you get it. Agility is very important. How do I train it? Let me show you. The first agility exercise I'm going to show you is the blindfolded, unilaterally loaded, resisted lunge. This is a progressive exercise, meaning that we're going to work our way through various degrees of difficulty. I'm going to start by simply doing alternating forward and back lunges. I want to look straight and work through a full range of motion. I want to do several repetitions until I feel like I'm connected and I'm familiar with the movement. Then I'm going to introduce a small amount of resistance just to further challenge my stability. Once again, a few repetitions. I'm connected. I'm going to add the unilateral load. Now, you've seen these before. What it does is it's going to pull me to one side, forcing me to neutralize and come back up to center. The reason I do this is because I want to simulate day-to-day scenarios, such as when you're picking up your son or your daughter in one arm, or perhaps you're serving guests and you're carrying around platters of food and plates. Finally, I want to challenge my proprioception, which I mentioned earlier is your body space awareness, or your ability to sense where your limbs are without having to look for them. I want to do this by adding a blindfold. You don't have to use a blindfold. You can simply close your eyes, but for the purposes of demonstration, I want to use the blindfold. I want to add my load right away. You can progress to this, but I'm just going to go right ahead. You're going to find that removing your vision, or your ability to see, makes this simple movement much more difficult. This particular exercise works on your foot proprioception. Having good foot proprioception allows me to sense when I'm going to hit the ground without having to look at it. And this is a great component of agility. The next agility exercise I'm going to show you is the side-to-side lunge with rotation. Once again, this will be a progressive exercise, meaning that you're going to work through various degrees of difficulty. I'm going to start by doing the side-to-side lunge, alternating sides. I'm going to look forward, and I'm going to extend through a full range of motion, picking up speed once I'm comfortable. I want to do a couple reps until I'm familiar with the movement, and then I'm going to add some resistance. It's not going to be very much, but I assure you it'll be enough. And once again, I'm going to progress through the movement slowly and then picking up speed. I'm not going to add a blindfold, but I am going to look forward and really trust my foot proprioception. Finally, I want to add a load. Not very much, but it's going to be enough that as I move through the movement, it's going to want to pull me back. So I'm really going to have to engage and stabilize that core. Again, a few movements. Really being aware and picking up speed once I'm ready. Lastly, I'm going to make it even more difficult by adding a rotation to the end of the movement. And it looks like this. Not only am I looking for speed, I'm looking for coordination and precision. And also, I'm looking to move with grace and fluidity. This really captures the essence of agility. The last agility exercise I'm going to show you is the blindfolded squat kickback. To set up for the exercise, I have the assistance mechanism. Why? Because I intend to pick up a little speed, and I will be blindfolded moving through a very complex movement. To start, I'm simply going to start my squat kickback. As you can see, I'm really going to squat into this movement so that I don't have to round my back like this. Squat, jump back to the plank, come back up. Picking up speed when I'm comfortable. Now, I'm going to add some resistance. Once again, progressing through nice and slow and then picking up speed. All right, finally, the blindfold. Once again, you don't necessarily need the blindfold. You can just close your eyes, but I want to keep myself honest by adding the blindfold. So I'm nice and snug. Not only will this challenge my foot proprioception, it's going to challenge my whole body and even my hand proprioception. As I move through the movement, I need to instinctively know how far I've squatted and roughly when my hands are going to touch the ground. All right, and go. As you can see, my body space awareness is quite good. Picking up speed. And there you have it, the blindfolded squat kickback. And this complex movement really encompasses everything that we've talked about, ranging from stability to mobility, reflexes, coordination, proprioception. This one movement captures everything that is required for agility. So now you know that the basis of my agility training includes quick and precise movements and movements through multiple planes of motion. And that's why resistance bands truly are the only option. To be frank, free weights only offer resistance in the vertical plane, and that does you no good when you're moving from side to side or in rotation. Also, because you're making such quick and sudden movements, the resistance really should be gradual. And that's why the elastic nature of resistance bands make them the go-to for agility training. Honestly guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Agility training, it'll literally keep you safe. You gotta do it.